Live from the 2016 Philadelphia Flower Show, Explore America, celebrating 100 years of the National Park Service.
So our station is a top 40 radio station. We consider ourselves a community radio station because we do local high school sports. We've now become the best college radio station in the nation by the Princeton Review. Really run everything. They run the social media that day. They run the broadcast that day. They engineer the event. They send the signal back to the radio station. And our student engineer executes it on our on-air board in the studio. The only part I really play is just the nuts and bolts of it, making sure that we have everything we need to facilitate and execute a flawless broadcast for the Pennsylvania Horticultural Society and the Philadelphia Flower Show.
So this is my second year coming back to the Philadelphia Flower Show again, and last year I had just started my job here at 107.7, so I'm looking forward to being even better than last year and kind of being the person who's anchoring the show instead of just chiming in every once in a while. I think I've taken a lot more of a leadership role in this position this year than last year, so I'm looking forward to going back. The most important thing we've done to prepare is a lot of research. The Thursday before the flower show, we found out our guests, so we have a whole broadcast log of who's going to be on and when that our managers prepare for us. So then once we get that, I go to the library and print out like everything I can find on these people so I can prepare some good interview questions.
So what I am responsible for at the Philadelphia Flower Show is I'm producing all the opens, closes, intros, returns, top of the hours, what else, promotions for the event. So we have a live broadcast of the Philadelphia Flower Show. And we are having live broadcasters there in the Philadelphia Convention Center, and we're going to be having them talking to their guests, and in between each and every show, we have a couple shows, my pre-recorded production of the scripts that I'm given will be played before, during, and after the whole entire broadcast. So I first got my full script of what I had to produce and record about like a week and a half before the show, which was actually really early. John Moses came in and gave me this stack of papers and was like, here you go, like, we got it early. And I was like, great. So I got to work and I ended up being finished within a week of producing like 20 opens, closes, returns.
So the Flower Show is a combination of probably our biggest event. It is also probably the most stressful event, depending on who you ask. Probably our most important live broadcast because it is like the culmination of all of our efforts. Like we have not just, students going out and talking on air, but we have, sponsors coming, PHS themselves, are there, and we have to make a good appearance. So it's important in, not only doing something cool for the students, but doing something cool for our sponsors who like really think it's awesome, and also for PHS itself. So it's really important that we hit all of those marks and really make sure that it's like the top quality that it can be.
So we're going to the Pennsylvania Convention Center to test out some equipment for our Philadelphia Flower Show broadcast on Saturday. For the most part, we know the equipment works, but we like to go every year just to double check it, make sure there's no small problems that we can't fix while we're there or when we get back, just to make sure everything goes pretty smoothly for Saturday. So that's what we're doing right now.
So when we went down to test all the equipment, mostly we were going there to test equipment. So it's a lot of, pulling out the comm racks, making sure everything's working, connected to the studio for, about an hour or so, just making sure everything's running well. And we know it will. We've done it 3 years prior, so we know it'll be working. But we like to make sure. But it also lets us sort of scope out the show so we can see sort of, what we think we might want to highlight for our contest that we're going to be doing the day of.
When we were there testing out our equipment, there was a guy from, I think the place was called Fresh Squeezed or something like that, and he came up to us and said, what are you guys doing here? I said, oh, this is where we're going to broadcast live from on opening day. And he said, no, this is my spot. So we had a little territorial discussion. I contacted the Flower Show, And by the end of that day that we went down to test the equipment, we found out that he was in the wrong spot, we were in the right spot, and we were good to go.
So, because we weren't sure if we were going to be moved or if the juice salesman was going to be moved, that obviously has some implications in terms of what we're playing over the air. So it's really important for us to like stake where we are. So John had to basically call up Nicole.
Hello?
Hey, Nicole, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good, not too bad.
John Moses calls me, and he was at the convention center.
We're going to have to make a slight change, a modification in probably all of the opens and closes and bumpers for the event.
And he tells me, we just got moved from our spot where we're going to be broadcasting, and I need you to change all 20 of what you recorded and produced and insert this new Exhibit Hall A, the grand entrance at the Philadelphia Convention Center.
Going to be in Exhibit Hall A, which you already have and you're already promoting, but we're going to be
Yeah.
at the grand entrance of Exhibit Hall A, which is a big deal. Yeah, all right, it's going to be the grand entrance of Exhibit Hall A. Are you okay with changing all of those?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, all right.
And she took it pretty well. He expected her to be a little bit more upset, but I kind of know how Nicole is. So on the inside, she's probably like, "This sucks."
So I was glad I finished with enough time, and I was able to edit and go back and produce and fix all them and put them in, and we're ready for the show.
Around 5:30 in the morning, we all met up at the station. We headed over to Philadelphia so we could set up around 7. Then we got to do a nice like walking tour of all the exhibits. We actually went around and picked different exhibits that we wanted to use for a contest, where like if you could guess like which national park it was designed after, like you would win a certain prize. So before all the shows and after we finished setting up, we kind of just went around so we could pick certain things.
Let's go live from the grand entrance in Exhibit Hall A at the Pennsylvania Convention Center. And your host for Your Pet Matters, Dr. Michael Tokiwa of the Animal Hospital at Kingston and Blauenberg, your pet's life partner in medicine, live from the 2016 Philadelphia Flower Show.
1077 The Bronx, 1077thebronx.com. We're live at the Pennsylvania Horticultural Society's 188th Annual Philadelphia Flower Show. You're listening to a special edition of Your Pet Matters, broadcasting live from the grand entrance in the Exhibit Hall A at the Pennsylvania Convention Center. I'm Michael Dr. T. Tokiwa, and we're so excited to be part of this year's theme, Explore America. The exhibits are visually stunning and accurately celebrate and commemorate 100 years of the National Park Service.
I just joined Sustainable U last week, so it hasn't been that long at all. But I'm here today at the Flower Show with 1077 The Bronx. Sustainable U will be coming back on for a second show at 2 o'clock. We have a few interviews just to talk more about the Flower Show.
Social media has been doing fantastic. A bunch of people who just sort of just recently joined the radio station, like Nicole and Jamal, have been doing really good today, like exceptionally fantastic. And otherwise I've been having a good time. I mean, I took a bunch of pictures and I got to see a bunch of cool flowers, and my show went well, so I can't really complain about it.
The show's going really well. I think we've had a lot of success and a lot of happy faces have come by telling us how they've enjoyed today. Right now I am working on some more social media. So we were posting up our last interview pic with Turfs Up Radio, and we have one more show, which is Sustainable U, and they're prepping for it right now. So we're in the home stretch, and it's going really well.
Hi Nancy, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
No problem. So Nancy is the Pennsylvania Horticultural Society Director of Gardening Program. Now can you tell us what the Pennsylvania Convention Center really looked like before today? Like I'm sure it's gone through a big transformation, so can you just explain it to our listeners a little bit about what it looked like previously?
Sure, it was bare bones.
I love hearing about how this whole process comes about and how people choose what they want to do. Like, you have to start planning 18 months in advance. So while like last year's flower show is going on, people are already planning for the next one. So there's a lot that goes into it, and it's so elaborate and beautiful.
A lot can go wrong with a live broadcast. And for us, it's about being prepared and being ready. And I have to say, this year we were prepared, we were ready for anything that could happen, and nothing happened. So it was great that technically the broadcast went off without a hitch. Students did a wonderful job. They were prepared, they were ready, they had questions ready, they were professional. And our guests, which is always a wild card. Will they show up? Will they not show up? Will they be on time? Will they not be on time? The guests all came and they did a stunning job on the air. So from start to finish, this year's Philadelphia Flowers Show appearance by 107.7 The Bronx was the best yet.
Ready for a selfie?
Non-profit to non-profit.